I've been doing a lot of playoff best ball drafts, and I've noticed that many of the teams, and I'm sure you guys have realized this as well, basically start to feel the same. And you're trying to wonder, well, how often is my competition doing this? So there are a couple different things that I've been trying in rooms recently. And one of them is thinking, maybe we should just follow history here. It might just be time to anoint Drake Maye as the next great quarterback in the AFC instead of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Why can't we add Drake Maye into that list of competitors? What is holding the New England Patriots back from winning the Super Bowl this year? I'm trying to find reasons, not really finding them. Drake Maye probably going to win most valuable player in the NFL, and all of a sudden we're treating him like a guy who is going to lose a home playoff game to Justin Herbert. Brother, I don't think so. The reason why I always leave Burrow out is Joe Burrow doesn't really qualify for the postseason all that often. And I just have been thinking, looking at these games, particularly, so we're drafting from the 2 spot, so it's not going to end up coming up in this draft. But what I've been thinking a lot is looking at the first round. So obviously Puka, obviously McCaffrey. These guys are ultra high-end fantasy assets. Their teams have a great chance of making the postseason. Honestly, if you're a big McCaffrey or 49ers drafter, you might even want them to lose against the Seattle Seahawks, so they have to play the first round of the postseason. The Bills do not have great Super Bowl odds. The Seahawks have very good Super Bowl odds, but are not a very good fantasy football team. And also, I mean, I'm sure that we are all having this same thought, which is, do we really trust Sam Darnold to win multiple postseason games? I don't really think we do. Same deal with James Cook. Just very hard to draft Josh Allen and James Cook together. Of course, it can be done, but it is very difficult to do. I really like doing these Eagle starts where you start with Saquon Barkley in the first round, then you go to A.J. Brown, then you take Hurts, then you take Devonta, then you take Goddard. These are all very strong on DraftKings as well. But all of this is to say, what if it's just Drake Maye's time? What if Drake Maye is ascendant? What if we should take Drake Maye in the first round of these drafts and then add in a high-end NFC piece in round 2? Then you add in Henderson, then you add in Diggs, then you add in Hunter Henry, then you add in Ramondre Stevenson. Take your pick of Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, Austin Hooper, whoever you might like. I think these teams are pretty strong, and I'm going to start trying to add more of them to my portfolio. That is going to be one of the goals for today. A huge GM to my guy, Ben Weaver 940, stating that Davis Maddock is a winner. I mean, I will say this, it's been a pretty good fantasy year for me relative to the baselines of what I expected coming into the year. Did just send the $500 payout to our boy Hey Bales 19. So good reminder for all of you guys to get involved in the giveaway next year in case you missed out. Hey Bales got his money sent over there. So a reminder to all of you to do that. And here we are on the clock. Frankly, I'm just keeping it real. This is not a spot I'm going to follow the Sidekick on. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey at 2, and I am taking Christian McCaffrey at 2 for a couple reasons. The first being that I think CMC at 2 gives you this is obvious. It gives you the best Super Bowl scoring lineup because Christian McCaffrey is the best player in fantasy football. The second thing is I'm not as scared. And I think, obviously I would need to ask Zach. I would need to ask Shady about this. And there is a video coming out on Saturday with Sacrilegious where we get into this a little bit. But I would guess that they are weighting the potential bye week for the 49ers pretty heavily. I care a little bit less about that. Now, I would actually, it would be kind of sick to take Drake Maye and do a full Patriots 49ers here on DraftKings. Adrian's with me. He's all over Drake Maye and playoff best ball. GM to Noakes, GM D-Man, GM Yosh, GM Nolan. Still feel like the Rams are the best bet in the NFC. I do still think the Rams are the best bet, followed by the 49ers, though, would be my opinion. Ty says Rams, Seahawks, Patriots for the win on DraftKings. I'm just a little bit less, and I'm less enthusiastic about the Seahawks. I cannot get it out of my head that the Seattle Seahawks quarterback, Sam Darnold, had negative 42 EPA in the 2 biggest games of his career. I can't do it. AJ Brown is still available, who becomes a very interesting advance rate piece here. And we need an advance rate piece because George Kittle just went now. Wow, this is a very interesting spot. I've not been in this spot yet where Kittle and Maye are both gone. Nico's there. You know what? Let's do a Jaguars and let's take ETN and just see what we get. Yeah, I know. I think the Rams are still the Super Bowl favorite, right? But yeah, look, there is no math-based argument. Oh, what is this poor guy doing? An Eagles team over there. Huh. So this guy to my left is doing an Eagles Rams team. Well, I wonder, maybe we just take Kyron and then just see, because the guy to my right has JSN. I mean, sometimes this is sometimes this is what happens on DraftKings. I mean, the issue with drafting the Ravens, and I'm totally good with drafting the Ravens. Obviously, the issue with drafting the Ravens is they certainly might not make the postseason, right? Very, very possible for them to not make the postseason. Then another issue on top of that would be this is like clearly the worst year that has ever existed for the Ravens, right? I mean, the Ravens have just been a bad football team this year. It doesn't make much sense to me because they're a very good team. They have a lot of really good players, but they are way below their baseline. So the Ravens are 10th in the NFL in yards per play, which is, fine. They're 11 in the NFL in points in terms of expected points. They're actually, honestly, they're on par with kind of the Seahawks and the Broncos, just kind of middling teams. Charlie, I always save my DraftKings crowns up to enter into the SPY in a new year as many times as it'll let me. So, you get to, I guess it's 2026. We get to the 2026 NFL season. Trevor Lawrence is available for us there. So, oh, no, he's not. All right. So we're actually screwed now. Dang. We're going to have to do a big pivot here. So I got fancy. You know what? All right. I'm just calling a total audible here. And I am going to draft. Shit. What am I going to do? All right, let's just do all Packers. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. So we just got killed there. That sucked. Ooh, well, it happens. It happens sometimes where you're in these drafts and you just get totally blown up. And I tried to set up Lawrence, couldn't do it. The Kittle guy, I guess I could have taken Purdy where I took Kyron. I mean, that's what sometimes when you are trying things in these rooms, that's going to happen. But, in general, like you have to be flexible in DK playoff drafts. There's just not really much of a way around it. You absolutely have to do it. So we're going to take Jacoby Myers here and we're going to set up a Packers Jaguars Super Bowl. Why not Broncos? The reason why to not do Broncos is they have a bye in round 1, and I am focusing on this team just getting my money back. So I'm actually doing the opposite of donating $20. What I'm doing is I'm actually greatly upping the odds of getting my $20 back, but I'm greatly decreasing my odds of winning any substantial money. So it's basically the exact opposite of donating. It's what would you even call that? I guess raising your floor but decreasing your ceiling is what is happening on this team, which is, sometimes if you're going to try things in a draft, that's going to happen. And frankly, I would say that probably is one of the big values of the Sidekick is the Sidekick can kind of bail you out of these spots. Yes, you can only play 2 running backs. I would say that basically the thought of round pricing in playoff best ball, doesn't matter. Like ADP for playoff best ball is not a predictor of expected fantasy points. It is only a constraint that constrains your ability to create teams. They're like in regular best ball, you are thinking, oh, first round pick is 50% of the value of my team. It is basically the exact opposite in playoff best ball, where the only thing that matters is what your team projects for in a Super Bowl. And many of the players you select are not going to be in the Super Bowl. See, I wouldn't have even taken Nico on this team because I was trying to set up something else. Yes, I will be in the BR streets this week. I've not done it yet. Just have not gotten there yet. I will get there, but it is going to take a little bit of time. I will probably start drafting them tonight. Dabbles would be my guess is when I'm going to hop into the BR streets. I also wanted for there to be as much news as possible that came out before I started dealing with the BRs. Like, no, can't do Rizzy P. We are done on 49ers. CMC is going to be an advance rate only piece on this team because what I am actually playing for now is a full Jaguars. And I don't have a tight end. What are the odds? What is more likely to get taken from me, Strange or Love? Strange is more likely to get taken from me. And if I miss on Jordan Love, if someone else takes Jordan Love, then this team will just completely be an advance rate. It will have no chance to make any money in the Super Bowl, so it will all be advance rate. I did place a wager on DraftKings. I placed a $50 wager on the San Francisco 49ers to beat outright the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, it's gonna be a great week for BR Sunday morning. The issue is I normally like to be done on Sunday morning is the issue. All right, so we really need Jordan Love on this team. Assuming we are able to get him, we will then add, or we're gonna add a bunch of Packers. We're gonna add Wicks. We're gonna add Matthew Gold. I mean, probably not Matthew Golden, Luke Musgrave. Yes. If you miss on Jordan Love, you play Malik Willis like mobile Nick Foles. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Malik Willis doing that? Incredible, incredible stuff. I mean, Malik Willis played good, man. Shout out to Malik Willis. That game that he played before getting injured against the Ravens was some heroic shit. I've really been enjoying watching him play. Not starting Malik Willis in a Dynasty Superflex final almost killed me, which is interesting. All right, fading one guy here, fading the Josh Allen team, Mander Gibb. There we go. All right, so that strategy worked out. So we are now going to add Jordan Love onto the team, and we have 2 Packers. So we need at least 3 more Packers. Who is the higher ADP? I guess Brian Thomas Jr. has a much higher ADP than Jaden Reed, so we should be able to get Jaden Reed, Romeo Dubs. I mean, Musgrave is there, so we've got some outs now because there are plenty of Packers players that you can take. There you go. We had Malik Willis in the Larison Consolation Finals. Good for you, Frost. That's a good co-manager right there. All right, we are gonna do Brian Thomas Jr. He's not even available anymore. So we're gonna do Parker Washington instead of Jaden Reed because we already had ETN. That's also theoretically one of the things the Sidekick might do is it might pivot us towards we could do Bryce Young or Sam Darnold and then set up another AFC NFC matchup. I definitely have a lot of Packers drafts because the Sidekick really likes the Packers. I mean, the Packers are just underrated relative to their market odds of making the NFC conference championship. Yes, I have looked at some of the hypothetical lines for the wild card matchups on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The one that I thought was most interesting was the Chargers and Patriots game. I thought that one was pretty interesting. I'm new to best ball. Is it common to change your goal just to trying to get your money back once you realize you can't win? Or are you mostly just drafting for the win no matter what? I mean, I would say 97% of the time you are trying to win the Super Bowl. But in this specific draft, I basically just got boxed out of what I wanted to do. All right, so I did lose Jaden Reed. So we're going to do Romeo Dubs, and then I'm assuming that the sidekick will move Musgrave up. Yep, there we go. That's what I was thinking. So we're going to add Musgrave in. I do really like Aronde Gadsden as well. Gadsden, someone just said it. Yes, Aronde Gadsden's Jake Ferguson 2024 wildcard game. I mean, that would hit my DraftKings teams pretty well. I've been drafting a lot of Aronde Gadsden. He seems to me like one of the best picks on DraftKings overall, where he fills a tight end slot. He's probably not 100% drafted, honestly. I guess I would need some more observations of the rooms to be 100% certain of that. But I'm curious, once we take Musgrave, what the sidekick is going to say positionally or team-wise we need. Don't think I have a team with all these running backs together yet. All right, here we go. We are going to take Luke Musgrave to add into our Packers stuff. So now in terms of Packers, we have Jacobs, we have Watson, we have Love, we have Dubs, we have Musgrave. So, okay. So Sidekick is saying we should potentially add in another quarterback for advance rate stuff. I'm thinking because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Packers, it makes more sense to just do a full Packers Super Bowl. Wow. People are saying some things. Interesting. Would love to hear your thought process on taking Kyron over Nico with Kittle off the board. Nico gives you just 2 outs to AFC teams with McCaffrey. Basically, I don't really like the Texans. And I was trying to see if I could get Stafford to come around to do a Rams Jaguars to try and get a more unique combination. Yeah, Josh Wiley, bro. Josh Wiley. They're saying it. They're saying it more and more. I definitely think you take Wicks over Wiley, but it doesn't really matter. They're basically the same. And once we do that, well, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. So Wicks is the 6th Packer, which gives us the Super Bowl regardless. All right. So Dontavian Wicks, bang. All right. So final team: Jordan Love, Christian McCaffrey, Jacoby Myers, Christian Watson, Brenton Strange, Travis Etienne Jr., Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Parker Washington, Romeo Dubs, Luke Musgrave, and Dontavian Wicks. So we have a Packers, Jaguars, Packers anyone Super Bowl. I suppose there was maybe some argument that we should have taken like Tootin or like Tim Patch. Well, no, because I lost Trevor Lawrence. So I was going to say to try and set up multiple Super Bowl matchups, but we're going to use McCaffrey. We're going to use Kyron as the advance rate pieces on that team. So there you go. I mean, there is an example of how when things move against you, you can try. Well, I was going to say try and get your money back, which we did a little bit there, but it ended up turning into a full Packers onslaught. So the sidekick will be happy with me on that one. You know, we'll do a little bit better there. But let's see on this one. We got a ship chaser here. We're picking out of the 6th slot. So let's let's try and do a full Patriots onslaught. Could be fun. I mean, because you could do, theoretically in these drafts, you could get Drake May, Diggs, Henry, Henderson, Ramondre, Booty, and then you could just do whatever NFC pieces you want. Obviously, the thing that has become a little bit harder about these games is that with so many teams being eliminated, with the matchups becoming more clear, like compared to drafting a week ago, it is just a little bit more difficult to get your one-off guys because the ADPs are becoming more stratified where, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, in a lot of these drafts, what was happening was you would just have people coming in with a lot of differing opinions. things were feeling, you were like, oh, well, maybe this team, maybe the Lions make it. Maybe the Broncos don't get the 1 seed. Maybe the Patriots get the 1 seed. And now the drafts, more or less, the first 2 rounds kind of go the same way. Yes, I agree with what MBF just said. I do really like pairing the Patriots Onslaught with an elite advance rate piece like JSN or Barkley. Obviously, the issue with the JSN advance rate piece is and we don't know this right now, but JSN might be a divisional round advance piece and not a wild card round advance rate piece. And far and away, the most important players to draft, like if you could know the scores of one round, you would rather know the scores of the wild card round than the Super Bowl, I think. Well, I guess if you knew the scores of the Super Bowl round, you would know which teams were there. But yeah, I mean, look, what if history repeats itself and Gabe Davis has a 3 touchdown game that does it again? How many full Ravens teams have you gotten in advance of tomorrow's games? You know what, Michael? Not very many. So let's make that a goal on this stream for us to do the entirety of a Ravens team. So that would mean what? That would mean Henry, Lamar, Flowers, Andrews, likely Bateman, Hopkins, someone like that. But let's make that a goal here. All right, so Josh Allen does go. I'm gonna try and do, assuming Stuber lets me, I'm actually gonna try and do Barkley and Maye and see if we get, okay, well, there you go. So let's do Maye, and then let's see if we get recommended an NFC advance rate piece or if the sidekick just says to take Hendo. All right, off. I don't want to take Cook, so let's do all right, let's do Devontae Adams since we plan on taking 2 Patriots running backs. So positionally, that makes sense. If you could stare into the multiverse and know hypothetical scores if a team makes it there, I think you would prefer wildcard scores to Super Bowl scores. I mean, it obviously would just be a huge edge for you in these games to have double the field in advance rate. You know, if you are expected to advance 1 out of 6 of your teams, but you advanced 2 out of 6. I mean, imagine if you advanced 75 of your 150 teams. You would be in so much better of a position, obviously, to win the Super Bowl. If the Bucks win, they still might miss the playoffs. Could you break that down real quick if possible? Yeah, it's actually, so it sounds complicated, but it's actually very simple. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need the New Orleans Saints to beat the Atlanta Falcons because the divisional tiebreaker between the Buccaneers and the Panthers is divisional record against same opponents or same record against same opponents, and they currently would lose that tiebreaker if the Saints do not beat the Falcons. So the Buccaneers can help themselves obviously by winning, so they have to win, but they also need the New Orleans Saints to beat the Falcons. If that doesn't happen because of there you go. The 3-way tie goes to the Panthers because the Bucs lost to the Falcons. Yeah, that's very similar. Are we sure J.K. Dobbins won't return for the Super Bowl to cuck RJ Harvey teams? No, we are not. We are not. There's been some reporting to indicate that J.K. Dobbins will be back. All right, Trevor Lawrence goes. So we are going to get Trevion Henderson, and then we are going to get one Mr. Stephon Diggs. So we've got the thumbnail promise. We are drafting as if Tom Brady has been reincarnated, placed back in Foxborough. Drake Maye, Devontae Adams, Trevion Henderson, Stephon Diggs. Got to hope against hope that we get Hunter Henry. And then we can really start thinking about NFC advance rate pieces. Like we probably really want Josh Jacobs would be nice. Swift would be really nice. Goddard would be really nice. NFC tight ends would be, you know what? Ooh, you know what would be a really cool way to do this team would be to do Drake Maye and then do George Kittle and use that as your advance rate stuff. I think that would be really nice. Yeah, it is very funny. Falcons would be in a 3-way tie for first, which is very funny because they've been eliminated for like months. Forget knowing scores if you knew all 4 teams in the conference championship. Yes, you would win a lot of money, less money than you would think though. Yeah, I mean, obviously Harvey is not dead, but it would take him from, I believe he's currently being drafted as the 7th running back off the board. I mean, he would fall way behind in average draft position at that point. He would kind of be treated maybe even like Charbonnet in terms of advance rate stuff, because Harvey is not playing in week 1, and with with Dobbins back, his ADP would fall to like, or his weekly projection would fall to like what, 9 points, 10 points, something like that. I mean, I think he'd probably remain the passing down back, but other than that, I mean, like, who would be the goal line back for the Broncos? And the Broncos can only play 3 games, I guess assuming they're able to beat Trey Lance. All right, so we're gonna take Hunter Henry, and then I'm definitely taking Ramondre over Jacobs just to get the setup. And I mean, Jacobs is there for you all the time. So Swift went. So the people are on DeAndre Swift. They have realized, all right, well, there you go. So Jacobs goes, and that's off our board anyway. So Hunter Henry, most important man in the world for us here. And then I'm gonna take Ramondre, but I am just curious if like Ken Walker shot all the way up or something. So we have a full Patriots Rams Super Bowl, a 2018 Super Bowl rematch right now. Drake Maye, Devontae Adams, Trevion Henderson, Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry, Ramondre. Yeah, and I was gonna say, I wonder when when Colby Parkinson and those guys start to come in. Luther Burden, a nice advance rate here. It feels like the 49ers year. I mean, their defense is really banged up, so I don't know if it feels like their year exactly, but their offense is damn good, man. The 49ers offense is really, really good. Like one of the best in the NFL when Purdy is healthy. I will say the years that the Niners look like buzzsaws, it always ends horribly. So maybe the year they have nothing working. Well, the offense is working, Artillery Frost. It's the defense that is not working. But I mean, I think we all know this enough about football, which is that it's just really a game of who's hot at the right time, right? I mean, being hot in the postseason, you just kind of need the ball to bounce your way. Yeah, Burden and Loveland coming up next, because I shouldn't be fighting for booty with much of anyone. Is there an NFC running back that makes much sense? I mean, Walker, Corum, Sharbs, Manungai. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go. Yes, I mean, the Ravens should have higher Super Bowl odds than the Chargers right now. The Chargers stink. There you go. It's actually pretty big news. So Tyler Higbee is back and playing this week. That is relatively large news. All right, so we're gonna do Luther Burden. And then after we take Burden, is it going to move an NFC running back up? It probably won't. It'll probably still be Booty. Yeah, but you know what? Let's take Corum. Let's take Corum and just see what happens. So we've got Maye, Adams, Hendo, Diggs, Henry, Ramondre, Burden, Corum. So we have multiple Super Bowls covered. Ooh, Rome, a limited practice today. That's also kind of big news because I've sort of been under the assumption that that Rome is like maybe even not going to play in the postseason. The Rams tight end graphic presented by Sam Sherman is going to hit like crack. Yes, it is. Second quarterback. I don't know. I think we're just riding Maye here, right? I think we're maybe better off adding like another NFC tight end than adding in a second quarterback. I mean, second quarterback is going to help with advance rates quite a bit. Well, I still do draft the Chargers. I definitely still draft the Chargers. And Michael, I root for the Bears because I love Caleb Williams. I'm a big Caleb Williams guy. I would guess Rome being back like kind of like really deads DJ Moore. Cause can you put the Luther Burden Pandora back in its box? I really don't think you can. All right, we don't get Colston Loveland. So if I wanted him, I had to take him because DiNazzaro nabbed him from me. Is there another NFC tight end that is at all interesting? So let's add Booty here. And then there's got to be an NFC tight. I mean, it's probably just like Ferguson. Maybe Barner. Gadsden maybe as an advance rate piece. Barner could be okay. You know what? Let's add T Ferg. I just believe. I believe. I don't care about Higbee. I don't care about Parkinson. Ferguson has been awesome. I mean, I think you were probably right that Loveland is more important than Corum, but Corum. I mean, Corum has basically been in a 50-50 with Kyron. 60-40 until he hurt his ankle. What odds would you have given Sam's running back room of winning BBM in week 5? I mean, I would have said it was shit. I would have said, get out of here, Sam. Get out of here with your dusty boomer ass shit. That is exactly what I would have said. Ramondre counted, right? I don't remember what the other was. James, like they were all boomer picks. So there you go. Win Best Ball Mania 7 by taking all the boomer picks. The guy who almost beat Sam, the guy who was in second, had Joe Mixon. Got zero points. Well, I'm sure the reason I said the Chargers weren't going to make the playoffs was because I thought that the Chiefs were going to make the postseason. Yeah, you can't blame me. I drafted Derrick Henry, bro. You can't blame me. NFC tight end Barner or Tonjes? Definitely Barner. Tonjes is not going to play at all in the postseason. All right, we are going to add in. Well, if I take Douglas, I wonder if it gives me Barner. So I wonder, it probably won't, but that's kind of what I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to do Barner. So there we go. That is a full Patriots onslaught here. Drake Maye, Trevion Henderson, Diggs, Henry, Stevenson, Booty, Douglas, fire. And then add in Adams, Corum, and Ferguson from the Rams. Add in Barner. So we have a Patriots, Bears, Patriots, Rams, Patriots, Seahawks. We can score in all of those Super Bowls. I'm just saying, bro. Could be fun. All right. Let's keep it moving, boys. Let's just see what there is to see out here. I've already done a lot of this. Ooh, they released another play action because this one's about to fill. And I actually had not done as many of these playoff millies as I thought, I guess because I'm mostly drafting them on stream. New Sidekick sub here. This thing sure loves Drake Maye. Well, I mean, as it should, right? As it should. Drake Maye. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. All right, so let's force the Ravens on this one. Yes. Okay. So mental note. Okay. So if we start actually, this is going to work out because if we start McCaffrey, so, all right, we are going to forcing a whole Ravens stack through on DraftKings. And if the Ravens don't win this week, we'll be dead. Percentage chance the shock offseason move is the Jaguars trading Brian Thomas Jr. Pretty low. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to trade starters who are on rookie contracts, even if they think Brian Thomas Jr. sucks. That's hard. That's hard. If the Ravens win, they likely play the Texans. I don't know. I haven't looked. I frankly am not scared of the Texans. because the Texans can't score enough points to scare anyone. And there are always ways to mitigate really good defenses. Always. Offenses are always going to be slightly ahead of defenses, even when it doesn't feel that way. Really good offensive coordinators, really good play callers, which I guess maybe the Ravens don't have, can always mitigate defensive strengths. Oh, great question here from Brad. Wow. Okay. Who are you taking in the 2026 big board? Luther Burden the third or Jamison Williams? I mean, that's quite the question. That is quite the question, Mr. Brad. We are going to take McCaffrey over Josh Allen. I think it's Burden, and I think it's pretty close. Wow, GM in the DraftKings Millie with you right now. Eric Peterson 555. Salute to you, Eric. I mean, obviously you can take both, but we're saying who we rank first. I'm ranking Luther ahead of JMO. Yeah. Here's a I mean, I don't know how many of you guys play Dynasty, but who would you trade a 2026 first for Luther Burden right now? I mean, I think the answer is easy, yes. But I just saw some people talking about this on Twitter, and they were not on board. Fernando, don't be rude. Mendoza probably will go ahead of Mahomes sometimes. Yeah, I think a mid to late first I would easily do. I would trade my whole 2026 draft. I would trade the 106. Yeah, I think that's right about the right price. All right, so Kittle goes here. So we know we want to backdoor stack the Ravens. So we would want to be drafting on the NFC side of this bracket right now. So Kyron goes. So we're not going to take Nico. We're going to take Adams because we know something the Sidekick doesn't know, which is that we are doing something different downstream. And then this guy is going to take Nico and Stafford. Ooh, God. I mean, these guys are going to be undraftable next year. Henry and Barkley are going to be undraftable. They're going to be 30-year-old and 32-year-old running backs in the top 20 picks. Oh, round 20 Tank Dell is on the menu. Round 20 Tank Dell is absolutely on the menu. All right, highest NFC player is Hurts. All right, send it. We're taking Jalen Hurts. Looked back at last year's rookie draft this morning, and I took Trey Harris one pick before Burden. Jake, that's called being hoisted by your own petard, brother. Yeah, CMC turns 30. I mean, it's going to be hard to take CMC too. How would I rank Shuck, Ward, Penix in the big board? I'd rank them in that order. I'd rank, because Penix is coming back from another catastrophic knee injury. It would be the fourth. So it'd be the fifth season-ending surgery that he's had and the fourth catastrophic knee injury that Michael Penix has had. Not great. Henry proved age is just a number. He keeps himself in great shape, but at a certain point, to quote Zap Brannigan, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak and spongy. Which would be how I felt about that spot. I traded Burden midseason trying to ship my lead. I had that's the worst, man. NFC side. Well, you know what? No, let's just start it now. So we took D Hember. I agree on CMC's passing role. Just it keeps his floor higher. I mean, fuck, dude. Matthew Golden is dust. There you go. I knew someone would get it. I knew my boys here would catch the Futurama reference. Do you think Barkley regrets sitting out? Yes, 1,000,000%. He has to regret that. Inside. All right, by ADP, do I need to take Flowers? No, right? Okay, so that actually affords us another NFC pick. So we're going to do DeAndre Swift. Regretting not taking Henry Moore in hindsight after watching all those vids of him sprinting up the hill with weights on. I mean, the issue is, dude, is he did kind of suck. Derrick Henry was a below average advance rate piece who had a huge chunk of the season where he was not scoring well. Right? I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. He smashed when you needed to smash, but so here, this is in full PPR. So Derrick Henry 2.3, 10.7, 7.8, 9.3, 14, 19, 13, 11, 20, 28, 17, 11, 10, 22, 45. Even in week 15, it was not a massive smash for Derrick Henry. It really wasn't. Now, this is 100% true. He was integral to winning Best Ball Mania in part because he sucks so much. That's honestly, it's very true. Who is the higher ADP, Burden or Flowers? Well, Flowers is more important to the team because we're trying to do a full Raven, so I'm going to take Flowers there. Well, I think all winning teams more or less end up kind of being a house of cards. I would say you can kind of, I mean, go look at Kareem's team. Go look at Liam's team. Like they were all houses of cards. That's just the way it goes. All right. Has anyone else started taking Bears players, or am I going to be able to get these guys uncontested? Mark Andrews is way down there. So let's do Burden, and that should slightly disincentivize the room from taking Caleb from me. What are the wrong lessons we'll learn from this season that will shift the meta next season? I mean, I do think I think the old running back stuff. Like I really do think we are going to see a massive overcorrection on running backs. I think we will see, like I was talking about this with Karain the other day, and I was like, dude, I think we're going to see like guys like James Conner, like Karain's like, oh, James Conner's going to get cut and be a round 12 pick. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I think that fantasy people have been wanting to draft running backs for so long, and now they've got 2 years in a row of all old running backs smashing. Yeah, I mean, Bowers will be, I think that Bowers falling ADP. There you go. Mr. Brad is leaning my way. Oh, here you go. Okay. Chad hit on actually the number one thing that is going to impact constructing rosters, which is that we literally might never see another 2 quarterback team again. Just everyone, we had all the quarterback injuries. You know, Purdy got injured, McCarthy gets injured and sucks. Mahomes gets injured. They all get injured. The inexpensive quarterback smashed, right? Daniel Jones smash, Sam Darnold smash, Tyler Shuck smash. Cam Ward scored well in the fantasy postseason. We are going to see so many people we're going to be, yes. All right, so we do Lamar Jackson. Wow. Oh, I got Oh. Okay, so this guy to my right is now contesting me on Bear stuff. Okay, remember that. Yes, the thing is, Mr. Harold Fannin, Mr. Duck 7, is that quarterback injuries happen more than we think every single year. That is just always what happens in football. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we started to see this at the end of last year. So I'm going to take Loveland over Burden here because this guy to my right is drafting Bears players. We saw this at the end last year, which is that it started to be quite common for like Bryce Young and these guys to start to go in like round 13, 14, 15. Because this happened last year as well, where Shuck and Rattler were getting drafted, Richardson and Jones were getting drafted, Russ and Dart were getting drafted. There's going to be ambiguous spots this upcoming year. So I bet we will have an ambiguous spot with the Jets. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be a little bit ambiguous. I bet there will be ambiguous spot with the Colts because Daniel Jones is not going to be able to return that quickly. Mendoza will for sure start for the Raiders. There'll probably be an ambiguous spot with the Browns. I don't think they'll have a clear starter. We could have an ambiguous spot. The Saints probably won't. Could have an ambiguous spot with the Cardinals. We could have an ambiguous spot with the Vikings. So that's at least like a handful of teams right there where you could really see it going either way. Yeah. Like I would really, I can pull this up after this draft, but the amount of quarterbacks that get starts in a given year is way higher than our memory. Oh, there you go. Dolphins, Cardinals as well. Yeah. there are going to be a lot of free agent quarterbacks taken in the big board. What if Derek Carr comes back? Yeah, I mean the Falcons have to contend with Michael Penix having another season-ending injury. Yeah, quarterback ADPs are going to be really high. All right, so we did get Mark Andrews all the way back to us. So this draft is actually this is kind of exactly what we wanted to have happen because we got Hurts and McCaffrey and Adams. We got Loveland, Swift, and Burden, and we are gonna get. I think we're gonna get all the Ravens, which is sick. The Saints own his rights, but yes, he can come back. Yeah, Malik Willis. All right. All right, let's do actually like I don't care about the difference between these Ravens wide receivers, so let's do likely get him as the flex. You could have thrown a lot of shit to the wall last year and I would have believed it, but Phillip Rivers over Anthony Richardson. Oh, yes. I mean, this is like this will maybe be one of the best pieces of advice you can ever get on this channel. But if you play Superflex Dynasty, keep guys like Malik Willis, Tanner McKee, Carson Wentz, even like keep these guys on your rosters. Keep them stashed on your rosters. Really, really good advice. Because just you never know when they are going to come back to mattering. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So one more Raven and we build out the full Ravens stack. This is the first one I've done of these. All right, let's just add in Bateman on there. That's one of my favorite teams that I have constructed. Jalen Hurts, Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Colston Loveland, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Luther Burden, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Rashad Bateman. Beautiful. You guys, Flyfish, you are not going to like the answer to what wide receiver is on the Michael Wilson, QJ, Alec Pierce late breakout radar. Let me tell you, the number one answer to that list is not a guy you want to hear from me. I guarantee you are not going to like the answer. But once Michael Leone says it, or once I don't know who else. Once Herzig starts taking them, then everyone will start to believe. It's not $1 million question. Fernando Mendoza is throwing to Brock Bowers next year. It does rhyme. It does rhyme with Purdy. It does. All right, here we go. What are we going to try and accomplish on this one? I guess let's wait to see our draft spot. All right. Well, another CMC team. Feel good about that. I really don't understand why the Sidekick doesn't want CMC at 2. I mean, I think I do. I think I get it. His name does not rhyme with Dion Soulman. I think Dion Soulman is done. I think Wicks might even be a free agent. I need to look this. No, he's got one more year left. Dontavian Wicks is a free agent after next year. Okay. Hey, Dontavian Wicks in Kansas City. I personally like the sim version of the Sidekick much better. Yes, exactly. Every Josh Allen team, it's just so hard to get Josh Allen and James Cook. Chimere DK. I mean, Chimere DK, I think, already broke out. I believe he currently leads the National Football League in total yards when you include kick and punt returns. So I think he already broke out. I think the breakout was full. All right, Nick is surprising no one. Nick thinks the New England Patriots are good picks in playoff best ball. Interesting. San Francisco and Chicago. I mean, I would say compared to the Sidekick now, I like the I like the 49ers way more. Rod said, "Hey Davis, you'd be happy to know I finished 24th in Best Ball Mania with Xavier Worthy on my team." Wow, talk about carrying a frickin' anchor uphill. All right, we're going to try. I've actually not executed the 49ers draft that I want here yet. Yeah, Dubs is a free agent. What are we doing with Tucker Kraft and Christian Watson next year? I mean, I guess I'm just treating them like they're healthy, right? But I mean, like Watson's just good to go. I guess with Kraft, you're maybe a little bit more concerned because Kraft was like his first it was like his first catastrophic injury. Sadly I don't think that Marvin Mims is going to have a breakout season. Maybe the thing that I will most cure myself of is these small little speed bug gadget wide receivers. I mean, I've been fascinated with them for the entirety of my fantasy football career, but maybe in the end it'll be okay. Wow. New England and Denver are frauds. They beat no one and barely won when they did. Gotta say I disagree. Yeah, that was my truth serum, and we're gonna have to do it again. Sidekick wanted me to double tap Allen and Maye. Interesting. All right. Let's just eat my freaking veggies with Nico Collins here and see if so now you can't even this is kind of interesting. You can't even get CMC Kittle anymore. That's like a pretty big wrinkle in the rooms that you really cannot even get Christian McCaffrey and Kittle any longer. Man, the thing is, if I want Purdy, I probably have to take him here because the Kittle drafter is going to take him. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get Purdy here and have to get an AFC tight end that can outscore Kittle. No, Shuck will be lower than that. Shuck will be lower than that. So honestly, I would say maybe the Sidekick is actually kind of directionally accurate in a way because it doesn't know what comes here. Oh, there you go. So Shady is correct, or Shady is backing up what I'm thinking. That it is too hard to get McCaffrey and Kittle together. Yeah, I mean that is very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I mean, now what are the odds that what are the odds that Brenton Strange or Dalton Schultz or what other Mark Andrews, Dalton Kincaid, like one of these guys can definitely outscore in the postseason, right? I mean, it's definitely not insane. I'm gonna take Jennings here. Now, shit, I should have taken Kincaid, actually, because that's who I want. Yeah, I mean, Kittle is live to dud in any given game, but, I mean, to Shady's point, McCaffrey teams are a lot worse than McCaffrey teams are a lot worse without Kittle. I mean, that's just the way it is. Oh, fuck, I fucking knew Kincaid. Davis, you're such an idiot. Just take Kincaid, dude. God damn it. All right, well, I'm going to take Hunter Henry then. Setting up a 49ers Patriots Super Bowl. We're going to have to take Ramondre here. Yeah, Goddard is involved at the goal line, but that doesn't help me at all. Setting up a 49ers Super Bowl is the issue. No, there was no this guy behind me was never going to take Jennings, and he definitely could have taken Kincaid. So I just that right there is playing bad. And it doesn't feel good to play bad. You'd rather play good than bad. Who is the most important player in the world this year, and why is it Tyler Higbee? Give me Terrence Ferguson as the most important person in the world, actually. Hot take. Give me T Ferg as the most important person in the world. Probably no one agrees with me, but well, no, there are T Ferg truthers out there. Other most important person in the world, I mean, it could be guys like Romeo Dubs, could be Josh Palmer, Brandon Cooks, or whatever. Possible. Yeah, Terrence Ferguson is the slappy to the Higbee's boomer. Higbee, I mean, I think his ADP is higher, so I don't think that's true. Higbee's ADP, Higbee 65.8, Ferguson, they're the same, 65, 64. So it's probably about the same. All right, Sidekick wanting frick. Ricky Pearsall went. Oh, dude, I am just like having a bad time right now. Okay. Well, I have the 349ers. So now I need to start stacking in Chargers or Texans for the 49ers. All right. Well, let's actually do Ramondre and then Marks because I already have a Patriot. And then it still wants Hampton. I'm very surprised the Sidekick still wants Hampton. I guess because it's going to give me another option because I still have 6 picks left, but it feels like one more Patriot. So I round off that Super Bowl. And then 2 more Texans feels better to me. And I don't believe in the Chargers. I don't. Mark's obviously a much worse pick than him. I know what it's doing, and it makes sense. I mean, is Mark's going to be available? Mark's probably is available for me at the next pick. And I only have 2 running backs. All right, you know what? There you go. Let's do it. Hampton, and then we'll see what happens. Sorry, brother. Yeah, Herbert is gonna get annihilated in the postseason, but whatever. That's his lot in life. Guys, can you imagine the tweets? Oh my goodness. The tweets about Justin Herbert and his eventual playoff loss are gonna be insane. They are going to be so breathless in their praise of Justin Herbert. I think the Niners D is 24th on defense EPA per play. I don't know. Not my lane, Michael. Interesting. So I think what's happening here is the Sidekick has just determined this team is dust and just needs to advance. So now it's having me pivot towards Bears stuff. Um, I'm not going to do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Marks and then I'm gonna take Stroud. The Chiefs definitely got some mediocre defenses through. Yeah, that much is for sure. So we've got 2 Texans, we have 1 Charger, we have 2 Patriots, we have 3 49ers. Obviously, the compounding issue is we do need a quarterback. The Chargers definitely would not have won it all. The Chargers are a pretty mediocre team, but honestly, for their fans, I'm happy that the offensive line is so bad because it gives them all a reason to keep going. All right, bang, CJ Stroud. So we do have once we take Schultz, we will have a Texans 49ers Super Bowl completed. Yeah. Every Justin Herbert sentence includes a conditional clause somewhere. You know, praying for him. What are we going to do when the Chargers come out and sink all of our New England teams? I mean, we're cooked. We're done. We're all going to be really, really, really sad. After that loss. Yeah, it was a really bad loss. Okay. So again, dude, this is so funny. Like, I love when I can tell that the sim is just saying, like, what are you doing? You are drafting the worst dog shit I've ever seen. I think rightly it's just like, man, you should really try to get some points in your lineup. And I'm like, you know what my lineup with points needs to do? My points lineup just needs to get some Texans in it. Any loss to Dallas was not good. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure adding Schultz in here gives me the 49ers Texans Super Bowl. That's got to be higher priority than adding in because I don't have a Charger Super Bowl unless I take Gadsden. I mean, I actually don't have any Super Bowl unless I take Dalton Schultz. I have no Super Bowl. So that's who I'm going to take. And then I think the Chargers should be removed. And I think it should just be, I was going to say, then it'll be Jaden Higgins. Now, I could do Gadsden and, but then I don't have a Super Bowl. Oh, yes, I do. So I could do Gadsden Keenan and have a Chargers 49ers Super Bowl as well. All right, let's do it. Gadsden, and then I think it should move Keenan back up. If it still has Higgins, then we'll do Higgins. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because now with Schultz and Gadsden, I have a 49ers, Chargers, 49ers, Texans. You're right. You're right. I won't take Trey. Let's see if I can get Trey Harris in the queue. Trey Harris. I'm scrolling, Jake. I'm trying to find Trey Harris. I'm trying to find him. Where's Trey Harris? Scrolling. Nope. I got to the bottom of the Sidekick and he's not there. I got all the way to the bottom and he's gone. That was just an I mean, this draft is kind of interesting in general, but that was an interesting spot right there where I thought it was more important to build out another possible Super Bowl. All right, come on down, Keenan. So we have covered a Texans 49ers Super Bowl. We have covered the thing is that the Patriots was the team that got skewered there. So the Patriots are just advance rate pieces. And then we have a Chargers 49ers Super Bowl. All right. Well, it turns out that the playoff sim built by a rocket scientist, it turns out that it knows what it's talking about with avoiding Christian McCaffrey. All right, there we go. Well, let's try and do better this time. Pick 2 again. Pick 2 again. No, I'm not drafting any Tonjas on DraftKings. I'd have to be in a very specific spot. Some idiot I know bet Trey Harris ladders last week. Yeah, you and Jake, bro. All right. Perk alert, Noah Lenders, K-Dog, Z-Wack, Mary. I recognize the one hole from playing Magic the Gathering. You've never scrolled to the bottom of the Sidekick before? I mean, sometimes you just got to scroll all the way to the bottom and say, "Hey man, what do you got for me all the way down here in the depths? What's there? What's on board?" The rocket scientist doesn't galaxy brain, and I wonder why that is. I wonder why Shady has Scrooge McDuck money, and I'm out here streaming playoff best ball on a Friday afternoon. I wonder if there's anything to learn from the way that Shady and I approach these games. It's probably nothing at the end of the day. Have you ever scrolled so far that there are no more names, bro? Man, I can't not take Christian McCaffrey, though. The Josh Allen teams are just as disgusting. They're just as bad. And if the 49ers lose to the Seahawks on Saturday, they become like the nutted advance rate pieces. I just can't do it. I get it. I know the logic why. I just cannot do it. You only get so many chances to draft the best player in fantasy. I know why. But let's try and okay, so taking what we learned, let's try to execute the perfect 49ers team. I mean, we could even do this with the we could do another NFC team. You could do the Bears on top of the 49ers or something. Could also take the overall wide receiver 2 in fantasy on the favorite to win the Super Bowl. You could do that. Dalton Schultz could outscore Kittle in the Super Bowl, brother. He could. New banger Liam tweet just dropped. Chargers beat the Patriots, Bills beat the Jags, Texans beat the Ravens, leaves us with the Broncos, Chargers, Bills, Texans. Look, if I can pick Drake Maye here, I would love to do it. Yeah, I agree. The right side of the board has become a little bit more fun. Very funny, Mr. Shadow Dog. Can I have your Sidekick subscription since you always know better than it? I wish. All right. Well, what are some ways to get tricky with it? Well, I'll tell you one thing we could do that I don't think I've tried yet is we could try and do a Jaguars build on top. Kyron and Stafford. And then we do Purdy. And now we try and get so now we need we just need Brenton Strange to score more points in the Super Bowl than George Kittle. I mean, that how many weeks this year have we seen Brenton Strange score more points than George Kittle? I'm sure there's been plenty, right? Had to have been. Just need one. Maybe this will be the Tonjes team. Maybe we will finally do the Tonjes. People want the Tonjes. But let's figure it out. All right. Jacoby. Oh, did Jennings go? All right. So let's take Jacoby and hope that the guy behind us. So I guess I got to watch out for K-Dog taking Pearsall. So am I contesting? I guess because I took Jacoby, I'm not contesting Lawrence with anyone. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to take Pearsall because I am trying to execute this. And if it doesn't work, we could actually do Ravens. GM 1204 Jet. A natural what though? You have to be clear. Natural what? Yeah, Pearsall went from completely free to round 5 every time. I mean, that's what happens when these teams, like when everyone decides these teams can make the Super Bowl or are really good. No Keandre Lambert Smith, no money. Many such cases. BTJ has been trash all year and he's going to go wild. Dude, okay. If BTJ is the guy you need, I'm actually positioned well for that because I was drafting the Jaguars pretty early, relatively speaking. Like 2 weeks ago, you could just end your draft with the 5 Jags guys. All right, man. Okay, no one took Lawrence, so I should be able. And wow, and I don't even have the kick yelling at me to take Jacobs because someone else did it. All right, so then we go Lawrence, then we go BTJ, and we did it. We accomplished it. We got our Super Bowl. Once we take Strange. Actually, once I take Lawrence, I bet it's gonna. I wonder. Well, I don't bet. I wonder if it says Strange is more important than BTJ. I don't know which one goes earlier. BTJ 39.5, Strange 43. Wow, actually a Swift up top. Yeah, dude, Parker Washington, good click. Why did UD change round 1 to 2-6 to 1-6? No idea. Maybe eliminate dupes. I don't know. I tell you what. I mean, I know why DeAndre Swift is a good pick here, but I would be so tilted to miss out on Brenton Strange and not have a Super Bowl that I'm not letting it happen. I think it's certainly bad. I'm pretty sure Davis is just Shady's proof of concept as to why he always follows the sidekick. No, sir. No UD drafts this week. We are locked in with our partnership on we are locked in with our DraftKings partnership until January 10th. There you go. That's true. Most of the late Jaguar stacks don't have Parker Washington. And what if Byshell Tootin is the most important person in the world? What if? McCaffrey, Etienne, Purdy, Myers, Pearsall, Lawrence, Strange, Swift went. BTJ obviously pretty important. And now I just need some NFC advance rate pieces, thinking the 49ers. Do you think if you know how to draft that DraftKings is better than underdog. I mean, maybe slightly, just because of the added tight end wrinkle. And it's all 1 out of 6 advanced too, which makes things a little bit more tough. All right. Back up, adding in Brian Thomas Jr. Man, we might just go full Jaguars on this one. Add in a little P-Wash already went. Yeah, exactly. Tootin could definitely be the most important player in the world. Yeah, I love if this guy's gonna take him, but I love the sidekick telling me to take Loveland here. No, he took Caleb. Man, sad for Perks Alert. He's gonna be tilting here because he definitely wanted to add Loveland onto that team. So now we have Jaguars. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have Jaguars, 49ers, Jaguars, Bears. And then if we do take Tootin, we have Jaguars solo. You guys have me self-conscious on how I'm saying it because people said Jaguars is wrong. So I'm very consciously saying Jaguars, but that doesn't sound right either. Jaguars? The Jacksonville Jaguars? Jaguars. How do you pronounce Jaguars? Jaguars. Jaguars. All right. Kyle Manungai. Sure. Happy to do that. Then what? Oh man, this guy to my left's got to be really tilting. Just say Jags. I'm right, dude. I'm listening. I just listened to it on Google. Jaguars. It's just Jaguars. Which doesn't, I mean, honestly doesn't sound right, but what's wrong with Jaguars, man? Come on. End of the day, Jaguars. Wow, all right, we're really building up the man, I'm taking DJ Moore and Roma Dunze stink. Is Tootin gone? You know what? I'm just gonna take, well, whatever. I'll take Rome, and then if it wants me to take Tootin in the end, I will. We'll see. Yankees. Am I a Yankee? The truth is between wires and wars. It's like Zaire, Wire, Jaguars. All right. The thing is, Rusty, I'm not a Yankee. I'm from the Midwest, dude. I was born I live in a small town. I mean, I would say if you were to place my accent on a spectrum, it would be closer to country hick than anything else because of where I'm from. Like, I don't have any Eastern or Western. Austin, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to do it to you. I really didn't. I didn't see what you were building, but sometimes that's how it goes out here. Yeah. So now the sidekick is giving me round 1 advance rate pieces, which I would rather just add Tootin. I know why it's doing that, but I would rather just do Tootin. All right. I think that for a McCaffrey team went, I think McCaffrey went better on this one. Purdy, McCaffrey, Myers, Pearsall, Strange, ETN, Lawrence, BTJ, Loveland, Manungai, Rome, and Tootin. So we have a full Jags, the Jacksonville Jags onslaught with 3 Bears and 3 49ers, including Purdy. So Purdy, Jags, Super Bowl definitely works. I think you can get away with that one. Yeah, the dominoes of the Saturday night game is nuts. That's gonna do a ton to our little games here that we are playing. Sidekick always tells me to take Caleb over Loveland. It's okay. I knew it was coming. Yes. Now, well, I think maybe in your spot on that last one, you probably did the right thing. but it's hard to say. Wash your hands of the Jaguars. Am I drafting any Henry Ruggs in the big board? No, but there you go, guys. If your dynasty leagues have open free agency right now, there's some free money. Yeah, and also Austin, you can just take Komet. I mean, obviously it's not optimal, but you definitely can. Like I do think in these you can take some Komet. You can take some like Austin Hooper. I would not take any Tonjes, but you know, you definitely can. Oh, they're definitely gonna let this guy back in the league. Come on. They let Michael Vick back in the league. Oh, this is a really good one. My New Year's resolution is to not draft Deontay Johnson on the big board. That's wise. That's wise of you. I wonder where Sack is. I wonder if Sack wants to hop on. Has anyone seen Sack in disco? There've been multiple people who have killed people and come back to play in the NFL once they got out of prison. So I saw on Tank Dell's Twitter account, Tank Dell like tweeted something like "I'll be back" or whatever. I don't remember. I gotta find it now. But Tank Dell tweeted like a graphic of like I'll be back. Or like maybe a video of him walking out of a tunnel or something. Here you go. Flash 1X Tank Dell 4. He posted a rock climbing emoji in his jersey. So there you go. Tank Dell, baby. You thought Tank Dell wasn't going to be back? You thought something like breaking your leg and tearing every ligament in it would keep him from playing in the National Football League? I don't think I'll have a big Tank Dell bag, but I'm not saying I won't have a Tank Dell bag. All right. We are picking at 5 in this one. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take James Cook, and I'm gonna do exactly what the sidekick says. I always say I'm gonna do this. So here you go. Here is the exact sidekick rule following draft. I'm not gonna mess with anything. Where do Texans receivers go? Probably too high, honestly. Texans Super Bowl probably opens up the weirdest, most bizarre range of outcomes. Yeah, because you can get their whole team whenever you want. Allows a lot of NFC teams to sneak through. Okay. Well, let's see what the RNG gods give me. Shocking. Sidekick wants me to take Drake Maye. So we have James Cook and Drake Maye to begin. My Tootin exposure will probably be pretty high. I am really starting to get into like the prospecting stuff. So I hope to have like stuff for you guys over on patreon.com/DavisMattock. Like probably by next week, I will start to ship out the prospect guide stuff. And I'm gonna have a full prospect guide, like a PDF for anyone who wants it. If you don't want to join the Patreon, it'll be on sale here for $10 or whatever. And anyone who wants it can do that. Rushy Rice speeding racing on crowded interstate was probably more dangerous. I think wasn't Ruggs drunk though? Or was that Jordan Addison that was drunk? Either way, it's it's not behavior that you would want your children to do. Yeah, drunk and going 140. I don't think Rashi was drunk. Well, I believe Henry Ruggs is already out of jail, isn't he? I don't know. Not great behavior though. Would not encourage it. Somehow talking about this stuff is going to get me demonetized again. This is what happens. You just get randomly demonetized for the most absurd stuff. All right. So I think what's going to happen is the Sidekick is going to use James Cook as the advance rate piece, which is fine by me. All right. So we do Stephon Diggs, and then we hope that the Eagles drafter continues down the Eagles train and that we are gifted Trevion Henderson with James Cook as our advance rate piece. Earliest parole, August 2026. Well, perfect time for him to re-sign with the Raiders, right? Perfect time. My my father-in-law gave me an eBay gift card for Christmas because he knows that I love to buy like cool vintage stuff. And we I'm currently trying to hunt down a Charlotte Hornets starter jacket. And I just got an email that one got posted for sale. All right, bang, there we go. Trevion Henderson. All right, so the Sidekick draft is James Cook, Drake Maye, Stephon Diggs, Trevion Henderson. Easy peasy. Beautiful. For your portfolio, I'm definitely hoping. Yes, I would say it's going to help me to a preposterous degree if the 49ers lose. I think the 49ers will win, but I think it is I think it is insanely likely or insanely better for me if the 49ers lose. The film industrial complex would find a way to demonetize me for talking about Justin Herbert. I mean, they've tried. I'm positive that they have tried. This whole time, I thought by getting a Memby that was preventing you from working at State Farm, not paying for a Charlotte Hornets starter jacket. Let me tell you, brother, I am not. I am using a literal gift card for it. I would not be any of the really nice vintage stuff. I'm just priced out, dude. I can't pay. Like, do you guys know about this? The Grateful Dead Lithuania jerseys. Like these right here. Hold on, I gotta make a pick. Gotta take Hunter Henry. These right here, these Lithuania basketball shirts. These are like legit. The Grateful Dead literally sponsored the Lithuanian men's national basketball team. I want one of these so bad, but to find the authentic ones, they are like over $200. And I'd have to win a lot of money playing playoff best ball to purchase one of those. All right, we're gonna add in Ramondre. Wow, as a guy with Lithuanian heritage, I'm quite familiar. Dude, do you have one? Do you have one of the jerseys or the shirts? The jerseys are even more rare than the shirts. My friend had a Vince Carter Raptors jersey. I almost committed my first crime stealing it. Worth it. What friendship is worth some good vintage gear. What would I do with LaMelo Ball as the Hornets GM? LaMelo Ball is the Hornets GM. I would probably try and pay to get him like a life coach and get like I would like say, LaMelo, will you go spend 2 weeks with David Goggins and just get serious about your life? Because LaMelo has all of the God given talent. I mean, not just God given talents. Um, he has also he's put in the work to be a very, very good NBA player. He just can't be serious enough on defense. And he takes a lot of bad, like leaning shots. He's taking he takes the one-footed threes with like 18 seconds on the shot clock. Just if he just would get serious, man, he would be phenomenal. He can be a champion. He could chart Lamelo was very, very good. He can definitely be a champion. He just needs to put his nose to the grindstone. All right, I'm not you guys see this? I'm not IK being here. I'm gonna take Kayshawn Booty. I'm not gonna push it because I said I was gonna follow exactly it. All right. Kayshawn Booty, come on down and just hope that this guy behind me Uh, Kayshawn Booty. Just hope that this guy behind me does not take burden. Lamelo after 2 weeks with Goggins, and Goggins is putting out TikTok dances. The thing is about Khan is, I mean, no one wants to admit this about Khan right now, but he is going to run into the same issue that LaMelo has, which is he is this phenomenally good offensive player, but he's going to have the same defensive limitations that LaMelo has. And Khan is also probably not a number one option because he is not that good of a movement shooter yet. It's so hard to be a number one um, scoring option in the NBA on a winning team. Like really, really, really hard. Exact. I would say I would agree with MBF. I would say Khan is like a Bosch level elite third guy on a championship team. He could be like Chet is for like what Chet does for Oklahoma City, where he's totally happy to be the third option. He's totally happy to be peripheral. He's totally happy to do the hard work on defense. But if you need to turn it over to him for a quarter or for, Shay's off the court, J-Dub has the injured wrist, then he can pick it up. You don't want Con Knipple or Brandon Miller to be your best player. Yeah, it's the Hornets. So when you get a guy like LaMelo, you don't trade him. When you are a small market team in the NBA and you get the guy, you don't trade him. Because you never win that trade. Yeah, Khan is always going to be an efficient guy because he's really smart. He just plays. He takes the right shots. He is not dribbling too much. I like Khan is a really good player, but LaMelo just has the extra gear. I mean, the biggest issue with LaMelo is the ankle. I mean, that's the biggest issue is the ankle injury. He's had these surgically reconstructed ankles that like basically have never healed. And that's ball talk. God, I love the NBA. So, I mean, there's just no way Demario Douglas is a better click than Burden here. There's no way. I said I was going to do it, though. I said I was going to do it. It's better for the EV of the team. Demario Douglas. Really, there you go. And now it's telling me to take Luther Burden. So then is this guy going to take Burden here? No. Is he going to take Tootin? Then we take Burden, then what? Man, a Luther Burden 22 spot in the wild card round is going to do numbers for my advance rate. My advance rate is going to be the best you've ever seen. You know what? The advance rate bros, all the advance rate bros on Twitter, they should really love playoff best ball because advancing teams in playoff best ball compared to regular season is actually very easy. I'd rather hold Kyle Williams bags than Pop. I mean, take it up with Karain, brother. Take it up with Karain. Serious statement. Chisholm is a better click than Pop. Nick, I don't think so, brother. No, we need Luther Burden to play this week for DFS, bro. We need it. All right. God, Kyle. I guess we're gonna have a chance to add some Kyle Williams bags. All right, I think I'm probably going to I think I'm going to fudge this at the very end because if I don't take Caleb Williams, this guy behind me is going to take Caleb Williams and then I can still get the top 2 in the kick. So I'm going to slightly alter the deal. He's running max routes. I mean, I'm not saying Kyle Williams is bad or I don't think Efton Chisholm is going to be active this next week. He might be. All right. So we got to take I know I said I was going to do it, but I'm IKBing one time here and I'm going to take Caleb Williams because I'll be able to get Kyle Williams, but this guy who just took DJ Moore was a threat to take him. And if I'm wrong, then I will have disrespected the sim. Pat Bryant. Is Pat Bryant alive? How is he still at the hospital? That hit he took was so brutal. All right. So what was the team that we drafted following just the computer? Drake May, James Cook, Diggs, Booty, Henry, Henderson, Stevenson, Walker, Douglas, Burden, Caleb Williams, and now Kyle Williams. Bang. And I even clicked it on the sidekick the way you guys want me to. There you go. Full practice. All right. I think it sounds really, really really unlikely that Diggs goes on the exempt list. May, Cook, Diggs, Booty, Henry, Hendo, Stevenson, Walker, Douglas, Burden, Caleb Williams, Kyle Williams. All right. Well, if the Patriots score 40 points a game in the postseason, I feel pretty good about this team. I think we could make some noise in the postseason with that team. Just trying to cover all the combos, dude. Do I think Indiana wins the college football playoff? Yeah, probably. I mean, Mendoza is playing very well. I really like Chris Watson. I really like Bryce Lance. I think I hope he shows up at the combine and I hope he plays very well. And as a little teaser for week 18, I've got a little something for you guys. You want to scroll the F down for Keandre Lambert-Smith.
Oh my fucking God.
I'm about it. I'm about it.
This is too good.
Someone slap the Keandre Lambert-Smith button. The first KLS reception, I was like, wow, he is the greatest wide receiver of all time. Is the 9th round too early for KLS? People are asking.
4.37, 40, played at Auburn. This is Darius Slayton vibes.
My thesis is at least not that he is Jerry Rice's kid. My thesis is at least He's not Jeremy Rice's kid. Jerry Rice's kid. What do you do with Mendoza as an unathletic pocket passer who only plays out of the shotgun? I mean, I am open to Mendoza being a decent NFL starter. My optimism is pretty low though. Like I just, man, I don't really see it. Because it's just so hard for that archetype of guy to succeed without being like Philip Rivers quality of like mental acuity. Although maybe Mendoza is. I don't know. Saw Mendoza Sam Darnold comp. I mean, I feel like Darnold was more athletic, like way less of a statue. And I, based on what I understand, is that Mendoza is considered like a really, really cerebral quarterback. So I mean, so there's a huge difference between Nix and Shuck, which is those guys are athletic. Pretty big difference between those guys. Nix had more rushing touchdowns in college than Jaden Daniels, and Shuck had really good athletic testing. So those guys had athleticism to fall back on. So pretty big difference there. Exactly. Darnold has some scoots. All right. Now I got this earlier today. I drafted one of these on the Swolecast members only show with Dave, where the room fell in just a way, and we were actually able to get Kyron, Puka, Adams, and Stafford. We pushed Stafford all the way back around to round 4. I don't know if this room is going to I don't know if this room's going to stay in their lane enough. Speaking of athleticism, shouldn't Chambliss be on the Raiders? I mean, he looks really small to me. I don't know, but he looks really small to me. All right, Stafford, then what? Puka, Stafford, and then is it going to be ETN or is it going to be Nico? These guys on the top are all different teams, so let's go ETN. Yeah, nothing is going to make you lock in more than getting the 4 Ram stack to start a draft. I think Burrow is his bull case. I get Burrow's more athletic, but doesn't play with it. You're just hoping Mendoza. Yeah, I mean, I will say if I wanted to say something kind about Mendoza, I would say everything I've seen about him suggests that he is an absolute gamer. That he like lives it, breathes it. All he wants to do is think about football. All he wants to do is be the best possible football player he can be. So I would love if that was the case. Like I've said this plenty of times on shows before, but like I am rooting for every quarterback that gets drafted to be good. The game that we play is so much better when the quarterbacks are good. When the quarterbacks are bad and you have to deal with Spencer Rattler and JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer and these guys, it's so much worse of an activity. We are we just got to be rooting for these guys. Yeah, and I just like, I don't know, Manning as the consensus 101, it's like, dude, that guy looked bad for most of the year. He did really turn it up in like the final 6 games, but the start of the year for Manning was tough. Yeah, bull case for Mendoza is Goff. I mean, look, we would be so happy if the worst 15 quarterbacks in the NFL for fantasy football were all turned into Jared Goff. We would be so stoked. If Jared Goff was the quarterback of the Raiders this year, we would be like, wow, greatest quarterback on earth. Interesting that Quorum is not showing up here. I mean, maybe I guess that's a change in the ADP, or maybe a change in the base projection. All right, so we do Jacoby Myers with ETN, and is it going to have us? I guess there's really no need to take Quorum here. It's going to say it's for sure going to tell me to take Jacobs. Let's do, instead of Jacobs, well, let's do Henry. Actually, that's kind of fun. Let's add in the king here. Oh, how many entries you playing in the Swolecap Playoff Survivor? How much does it cost? The Swolecast Playoff Survivor. Swolecast Survivor. I will probably play 15. I'll probably do 5. No, let's do. I'll put 7 in there right now. The man himself, Tate 81. I'll probably put. Do I have more money left in my account? I don't know how much money I have in my account right now. I'll probably do 10, Tate. I'll probably do 10. I'll do my best to stock the pond for you. What about the best rookie in NFL history over the first 2 years? I mean, I think you'd find that very hard to quantify. I think Bo Nix is like a really average player. But I would be happy if more quarterbacks came in the NFL and were able to play to Nix's level, because again, I just want more quarterbacks to be good. There you go. Swolecast Playoff Survivor over on Splash. Make sure that you're popping in those streets. Still wants me to take okay, Jacobs goes. Doesn't want me to take Jacobs anymore. Swift or Hampton or Watson. I guess if we do Swift, it'll guide me into the Bears. So we'll do that. Then it's going to tell me to take Burden, I bet. Or maybe Quorum. Nope, Caleb Williams. All right. Follow the leader. Look at the numbers. All right, well, let's look at Bo Nix numbers. Bo Nix has thrown for 3,775 yards. That's not a record. 3,790 yards. That's not a record. 29 touchdowns isn't a record. 25 touchdowns isn't a record. 12 interceptions, 11 interceptions. Good sack rate. Rushing. So you have a rushing record. 430 yards, not a record. 4 touchdowns, not a record. Not seeing any records here, brother. Got to be honest. Not seeing any records. Maybe his team's winning percentage. Wouldn't Roethlisberger be the? Wouldn't Roethlisberger have those records? I really don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's like, we can all just be adults. Drake Maye is much better than Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a fine player, though. Like I'm not. I'm happy. Happy to see Bo Nix doing his thing. Bo Nix just has the unfortunate reality that he plays in, like, this will probably be the only time Bo Nix ever wins his division, which is good for him. All right. Wow. Didn't think it would take me this route. Let's take Flowers instead of Hampton and then see what it does. Is Lamar still there? Let's do Flowers, and if it still wants me to take Hampton, I will. It still wants me to take Hampton. Okay. I don't really see I don't see what the kick is cooking. This is Denver's division for the next 5 years. I'd have a very hard time seeing that. I'm sure the Jets thought the Jets. What was Mark Sanchez? You know, that's a good comp. Mark Sanchez is actually a pretty good comp for Bo Nix. I take plus 100 odds on Denver to win the West again at least one of the next 3 seasons. Sure. Come slide in to my DMs in the or just at me in the Discord, Ryan. New England won't make it to Denver and Mahomes is finished. I'm sure that's very fun to say. I'm sure it's got to just hit like crack right now if you're not a Chiefs fan to say shit like that. Mahomes is cooked, bro. It's over. It's over, dude. It's done. 30 years old, his career is over. I remember not that long ago, a lot of people crying. A lot of, oh, the refs, they cheat. Oh, they cheat for the Chiefs. Okay. Well, we are getting railroaded here. I don't have a tight end yet. Oh man. We are cooked in this draft. Where did it all go wrong? I guess taking Caleb and then Burden and Loveland immediately getting picked on the other side of the board. All right, we'll do Andrews, and then after I take Andrews, is it going to have me take another tight end? That's what I thought. Yeah. All right, we're going to take well, actually, you know what? We'll take Higbee. I'll balance my range a little bit there. Yeah, dude. Wasn't it really impressive when Bo Nix beat Carson Wentz in week 18 last year? It was very, very impressive by Bo Nix. He's going to, guess what? Bo is going to get another win against Kansas City tomorrow or on Sunday. And it's very, very impressive of him. Shout out to Bo Nix, bro. Killed Carson Wentz and killed Chris Oladokun. Or will kill Chris Oladokun. All right. So Stafford, Etienne, Puka, Myers, Andrews, Henry. Do we even have a Super Bowl? I don't even think we have a Super Bowl. I think this team is just cooked. 1 Ram, 2 Ram, 3 Rams, 2. Yeah, this team can't even make the Super Bowl. Oh, well, you know, sometimes that's the way she goes. I'm also learning a lot. Well, this is it's just a very funny thing. Like fandom is a very one. Does one more Baltimore get me there? I don't think it does it? 1, 2. You know what? Why is it not? Why does it want me to take? I guess. Oh, one more Ram also does it. One more Ram also does it and gives me 2 Super Bowls. So, wow, that was not my best draft. Stafford, Etienne. Okay, so Stafford and Puka, Andrews and Henry, Flowers, Higbee, Ferguson. Yeah, so I've got a Rams, Jags. I've got a Rams, Jags. No, the Sims bailed me out right there. Sims got me there because I was dead. I would not have realized to take Ferguson, I don't think. So shout out to the sidekick there. I actually am like I was a huge Bo Nix as a rookie guy. I thought Bo Nix was going to be really good. I drafted a ton of him, but we just, you know, it is what it is. All right, boys, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily fantasy football videos. And